So this is Super Tennis on the Super Nintendo. I said my next video would be Shining Force on the Sega Genesis. I have not forgotten you guys about that. I just went ahead and made this video because I wanted to test out the PlayStation 3 Eye camera. This is the first time in any of the videos that I've made that you get to see me on camera. Hopefully you find that the camera footage syncs up with the gameplay footage on the left. And this is going to be for about 10 minutes, and then you'll see the last few minutes in the entirety of the match. So basically, I'll let you know about Super Tennis first, and then I'll talk about some of the things that I had problems with in this video. So with Super Tennis, this is another version of the original tennis game on the regular Nintendo. This one has more depth to it. It's not just a computer and versus mode. This also has a world circuit mode, which allows you to play in several tournaments. Now, the one advantage of playing on an emulator, which obviously would be the cheating, because this game is notoriously difficult. And by notorious, I mean this is one of the hardest sports games that you will ever play in your life, because you need lightning quick reflexes and you need to be able to master all of your shots. The B button is the shot that you use in the controller to go ahead and use your normal shots, your back and forth that you see right there. And the A button, which the computer just used, Amy, not Amy Winehouse, or not Amy with the white glasses that looks like Jesse Raphael's daughter, but the A button allows you to slice a little bit, and then X and Y allow you to lob from long distance if you're all the way in the back, or you get a little of a shot to just jump off over the racket to try to knock people's timing off. So you need to master all four shots, and then the L and R buttons are used to dive. So if you need to go ahead and make a miracle, that's an incredible effort. Look at that cheese. That's what you need to do in order to go ahead and get to the ball. Now, when you master all of these shots, I would think you're finally ready to go ahead and play circuit mode. I wouldn't even attempt to do that in this game until you go ahead and get to all of that, because circuit mode is absolutely freaking impossible. But what it is you play on all the courts, whether it's the hard court, the lawn court, or the clay court, that all affect, as you know of anything of tennis, that affects the ball's bounce and trajectory. That I think you get 2 bounces on lawn courts, 3 on clay, or 3 on hard and 1 on clay. And that's about it. So if you don't get the ball on third bounce on this lawn court here, you're screwed. And obviously the way that tennis works is you get from 15, 30, 40, and then you win the point. And if it gets tied at 40, you go to deuce, which is 1 is an advantage, and then the next one is the point. And once you get to 6 points, I believe, you win the set. Or it'll go to a tiebreaker, which you have to play several more points after that. So that's pretty much how tennis works. And in this game, you get all the advantages of being able, if you press the start button, to go into, I think this is pretty nice graphics at the time, to get like the sound of it where it says deuce or lead or fault, and you get to see the guys on the court, or the ball boys, or the line judge and stuff like that. I mean, it's a nice looking game for what it is, and I think it's pretty fun. And in here we have the change court. You get the little bit of mode 7 on the Super Nintendo, where it change the court, and then you move around and go to the other side, where you exchange serving the ball, not serving the ball, changing courts, and you have to get used changing the side of the court, and then you have to get used to where the ball will bounce and move and going from both sides. So that's essentially what you have. And in the circuit mode, I believe you play about 5 matches until you get to the finals. And with the emulation and save states, because this game is so difficult if you're playing it on an emulator, would allow you to go ahead and restart the matches or from wherever you saved it. Now, when I played this game and got relatively good at it, I got to about the 5th or 6th tournament, and then I was starting to lose, because essentially at that point you get to these characters that behave like bosses in Contra, more or less, or some of the hardest action games you ever played in your life, where they seemingly master every single shot and do everything else in their power to make you lose. And there is a such thing as AI catch-up logic when you get to like the 5th or 6th tournaments in World Circuit mode. Now, you can also play doubles mode if you don't feel like playing World Circuit with a computer or with one of your friends, which may also help your timing and certain shots that you would normally use to maybe help you further in the World Circuit mode if you choose. But if you get good enough, also plan on in this game to go ahead and mark down, I believe, 16 to 20 digit passwords with numbers, letters, all lowercase or uppercase. It's absolutely one of the most convoluted passcode systems that you will ever see in your life. And that's not for the faint of heart. So if you're writing chicken scratch like I do, because I have cerebral palsy and all that stuff, so it's kind of hard to have all the writing, you better type out all the damn passcodes, because it's going to be very difficult and you're going to feel really hurt if you go ahead and make all that progress and miss a few letters or numbers. So on the right side, if you're already listening to some of this stuff and watching some of the gameplay, try to watch some of my mannerisms and see if the timing from the right side matches to the left side of the gameplay, because I try to tell you, man, that was a close one, or I can't believe that stuff, or I'm worried about the lag, or some of the stuff that was going on, because this is another aspect of this video that I need to talk to you about before we close. We're about the halfway point here. That making this video took me about 5 or 6 hours, at least 4 hours too many, because I was trying to figure out how to do picture-in-picture pretty much so I can get this to set up, and then also trying to get the PlayStation 3 Eye camera to work. So to get everything set up, you had to be able to split the screen, which wasn't too difficult, but I couldn't get everything to match, so I tried to like crop myself and do some other things. All I needed to do was get to a certain type of slide, and everything seemed to work out. You might get black borders on your screen. We'll see how this ends up looking on YouTube. But my other concern was the PlayStation 3 Eye camera. When I bought the PlayStation 3 Eye, I got it for $15. Now with the PlayStation 3 EyeToy, it's obviously only compatible with the PS3. I got it for $15 at Walmart because I got the Eye of Judgment game, the one card game that's kind of like Magic the Gathering, that you put all the cards down on the floor and you end up playing it, and it takes all the graphics and stuff that you see on the screen. Now, when I got the camera, I immediately thought that I would be able to hook it up to the computer and it would be no problem. So you could use it for instant messaging, and at that point, I think Skype was also relatively new, so I really didn't know anything about that. And to be quite honest, I still don't even know that much about Skype. I don't use it too often, which is quite sad for me to say, but that's just being honest with you, because I don't even have a freaking smartphone. But when I got the camera itself, I thought, I'd just be able to plug the USB in there and everything would be hunky-dory. It would all work. It turned out that you needed a certain driver for it at the time to go ahead and make it work, and then set up the recording software, which is fine, because the driver at the time when I ended up getting the camera was free. Now, if you end up getting one of these cameras, or you find it at a garage sale, or whatever one of those things, eBay, Craigslist, anything like that, that if you go ahead and try to go to the CLI driver, if you type that in the search engine in Google, now all of this stuff is free. Or, no, now it's not free, and it's all riddled with ads. It used to be free, now I believe it costs like $45, $50. Now it's riddled with ads, and everybody in the support is all talking about, I paid for these, I want the updates, I want all these other things, and none of this stuff is working anymore. So now it's not free. Whoever it is trying to capitalize on it. Now they're giving you a bunch of drivers that don't work. So I think this is one of the highest quality cameras that you can find on the market, but good luck in trying to get it to work if you don't have anything else going on. I was beating my head against the chair there because I just missed the third bounce. It's kind of funny. But good luck trying to get it to work, and hopefully you find some other camera that suits you, because the other issue that I had, once I finally got the recording and all that stuff to work, it sped it up. and it didn't match with the speed, so it was playing at 75 frames per second. So I had to go back into the film thing to readjust the speed, and I also had to resave it before I could even set up any of these videos side by side. And then you may be wondering why I'm still using a recording device here, which is this digital video recorder from Olympus. This is one of the best ones that you can get, in my opinion. I like these, and you see a lot of freelancers use those. Now the split screen went away because the video ended. I'll talk about that too. That the audio doesn't also match up with it. The audio comes in too low, so that doesn't work. So I had to do some readjusting with that. So the audio doesn't work if you're trying to do that, and the video comes in too fast. So this is probably going to be the only times that you're going to see me on this video trying to do a side-by-side and testing this out. Let me know if you have anything else that ends up working better, because I'm pretty much using a $80 camera that wasn't compatible with the PC that I got for $15, and a program that is pretty good, but maybe, you know, it's not Sony Vegas or anything else, but it's just something that's easy for me to use, because Sony Vegas, I know, costs like $400, $500 or something like that. So it also makes me wonder how other people are also using it, you know. So, and if you're getting Windows 10, hint hint, it will maybe make some of those things go away. So this was Super Tennis, and I hope you guys enjoy watching, because I enjoyed making the video and going through the processes and losing to Sally Jesse Raphael's daughter with the white glasses. So she absolutely pissed me off, but there was nothing I could do, because there's also lag when you're making the video on SNES, not like the Sega. When you're using the emulator, it makes this game absolutely freaking impossible to play. Peace, guys. I will talk to you soon.